the second issue that will make you more money is your time management. If I get a load that doesn't pick up till the next day, I don't wait till tomorrow to get there. I go in tonight. I'm going to go in tonight, and I'm going to go and I'll lie to them. I'll just drive in and act like I'm supposed to be there. And if they say, oh, your appointment's for tomorrow. Oh, no, my appointment's for tonight. Today's the 9th. Oh, yeah, my appointment. What time is it? I don't even know. 22:50. Oh, today's the 10th. Okay. No, my appointment's for tonight at 2300. No, it's for tomorrow. No. Oh, let me call my dispatcher. I'm going to message my dispatcher. And I said, oh, they said you guys really need this product. And they go, oh, really? Yeah. Well, I don't know who told them that. I don't know. That's what I'm just telling you. That's what I was told. You know, I mean, I've had people say to me, well, that's lying and that's deceitful and that's manipulative and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so what? So I lied to somebody that I don't know that's going to put money in my pocket and nobody's getting hurt. They're getting their product early, not late. It's not like I did something wrong, you know. It's funny because Greedy One Kenobi, my fleet manager, once asked me, tell me the truth. How much do you blame on dispatch? And I was like, is that a serious question? He said, yeah. I said, I blame everything on dispatch. He says, you do? I said, yeah. I show up at customers and say, oh, I was told this was a drop and hook. This is supposed to be already loaded, right? And they'll go, oh, no, that's not scheduled to load until, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Really? Oh, man. Is there any way we can get loaded tonight? I'm trying to get home. I'm really trying to get this home as fast as possible. Is there any way we could get this loaded? And all of a sudden they'll say, well, let me see. And, oh, I got some of the product. Yeah, give me 2 hours. So now I just got loaded 10 hours early. And there have been times that I've said to Greedy One, hey, I'm going into this one customer. And even though I'm delivering there, I'm picking up. I can pick up from there too. It's a shipper also. Why don't you go see if you can get me a load? Then, boom, here's your pre-plan. Then I message them and say, okay, well, guess what? Now I need the pickup order. I have actually delivered a load like 6, 7, 10 hours early. And then the next load was supposed to come out of there the next day. And I talked this company into backing me into the door right away, emptying out my trailer, and then filling the trailer while I was still in the door. So I got emptied like 6, 7 hours early, and I got loaded 24 hours early. And I was already gone. And when you can do that, that's when you make more money than other people. Don't sit around and wait for appointment times. If the customer has overnight parking, drive in there, go check in, see if they'll allow you to get out early. A lot of places will. A lot of places might give you an appointment, but they're actually first come, first serve. Call them up. Say, hey, you know what? I'm only 50 miles away from you, and I know it doesn't deliver till tomorrow, but, I was hoping that you guys would have time to take care of this. I've even called up and said, look, I'm just exhausted. I don't care if you put me in a door and let me sleep all night. At least I'm in the door and you guys can unload me, when you can. I mean, I've told people, you're the most important customer. Prime told me that you guys were a priority account and I had to get here as soon as possible. And they'll go, really? Yeah. Oh, wow. We didn't know that. Okay. And I just made them feel good. And now they're going to go help me. So these are ways to get more miles. Another thing about managing that time clock, that's, you're increasing your availability. The faster you get unloaded, the faster you get a next load. You can get rolling to that next location. Now, somebody asked me about, is that running hard? What's running hard? Running hard is taking a 10-hour break, going, doing, getting to that customer as soon as possible, picking it up, not stopping. Don't be stopping every hour, every 2 hours or anything like that. Every time you stop, just to even go to the bathroom at a rest area, you're going to waste like 10 to 15, 20 minutes just pulling off the ramp, going and parking, getting out of the truck. Some of these rest areas, they're kind of far back. It's not like you park right at the door, and we're women, so we have to go sanitize everything around, and before we even put girly parts any place close to something that somebody else's girly parts were at, that can waste a lot of time. Instead of taking an hour break, you take a 30-minute break, and then you take your 10 hours. And a 10-hour break can be hard for people when they're not used to working this kind of lifestyle, because it always goes back to lifestyle. Managing that clock. Last night, I got to a customer 3 hours early. They were like, oh, we were short on trailers. We were going to do this as a drop and hook. Can you stick your trailer in the door? I was like, yep. They were like, oh, if you put your trailer in the door right now, we'll start working on your load right now, and we'll try to get you out of here early. Well, what wound up happening was I was out hours anyway. So I said to them, look, I got to go take my 10-hour break. I'm going to go park out here on the lot. They said, no problem. When I woke up, the load was done. I went and picked it up, and then I went. It's about managing that clock. Don't just turn the truck off and then run into truck stops or rest areas or whatever. Make sure you go off duty. If you're not in the truck, you're not inspecting the truck, you're not dealing with an officer, you're not dealing with paperwork or whatever, you're considered off duty. You're in the bathroom, you're in the shower, you're eating. That's not trucking time. That's your time. So what happens is new people have a tendency to forget, and they'll let that clock run. So as that clock is building up on duty time, that on duty time is being deducted by your 70-hour work week, which is actually 8 days, not 7. But you only have 70 hours to work with every 8 days. So if you let the clock tick down by 20 minutes every time you stop, and you stop 3-4 times a day, that builds up over the week. I'm driving 60 miles an hour. That's $30 basically, plus bonuses and stuff. It's probably $40 an hour. You're losing money if you have 3, 4, 5 hours. I just recently saw a new driver who had 7 hours of on-duty time throughout the week, where it wasn't actually on-duty time. It was them in the shower, and they forgot to turn the clock hum over. So they didn't change their duty status. That got deducted at the end of the week. It's a few $100. So you have to make sure that you know what you're doing, manage your clock. I'll do a lot of 8-2 splits. People will tell me, oh, well, that wastes time. It actually doesn't. It saves time if you know how to do it. I go and I sit in a dock and I get unloaded for 2 hours. Then I go and park. Well, other people, or I'll go drive. And then other people will just drive until their clock's up. I'll drive till my clock's up, and then I'll take my 8-hour in the sleeper, and I will get back time 2 hours earlier than they do. I won't get back a full clock, but I get back time, and so allows me to run faster. And out here, you don't always know what's going to happen. Sometimes you go and you pick up a load, and you don't get to finish it. Somebody else has to finish it. Something else about time management is nowhere to park. If you're driving around for an hour, the end of the night, every night, trying to find someplace to park, that's an hour of your time that you're using for the end of the week. So now I just said, 60 miles an hour, you're going to come out to about $40, $35, $40, depending on what division and what company and all that. Would it have been smarter just to pay $15 for a reserve spot? And a lot of these places that allow you to reserve spots will allow you to use the rewards points. So let me see. Waste $40 or spend $15 that's not even my cash, it's rewards points. Seems like a no-brainer to me, but there are people that they get anxious and they just want to keep going, and a lot of times the reserve spots are up front. There's like more room to back up. It might be a lot easier. It brings your anxiety level down to know that you have that parking space there. If you sit there and order it a few hours ahead of time, having the extra room that a lot of those spaces have will allow you to bring your anxiety level down when you're new. It alleviates a lot, plus it's going to save your clock. So you're going to have more time to drive. Drive time is money. People make some poor decisions on how they're going to spend their clock. Meat loads are a big deal because you're going to be sitting there for a long time. A lot of times it's 24 hours, 34 hours, something like that. I don't usually get stuck on meat loads unless I need a 34-hour break. And guess what? Then I drop the trailer, I bobtail out, and I go to a hotel because I'm going to enjoy it. I'm just going to enjoy my life. And I don't let this stuff stress me out, which goes back to time management. Because my time is managed so well, I'm less stressed. Because I'm less stressed, I'm less distracted. And when your anxiety level is way up like this, and especially when you're new, and it's rush, and it's, oh, where am I going to park? Oh, not only are you distracting yourself where you can have an accident, but you're making less money because you're driving around trying to find parking spaces. You're waiting for that next day to go deliver. Drop yards. There's too much time on a load, ask your dispatch, yo, can I drop this off at the yard? I just did this in Florida the other day. I had a load. It was a good load too. It was like 1,800 miles or something, but then they put a time frame on it that gave it like an extra day and a half. Grady Kenobi's not letting me sit. He's not going to expect me to sit. So this was Monday, and I said to him, yo, you think we can drop this at the yard? And he said, I'm working on it. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, then Wednesday, he hey, drop this at the yard. Oh, okay. When I was teaming, but you have to be smart. You have to be smart about when you stop. I mean, if you're gonna try to take a 34, don't take 10 hours and then drive 4 hours like the last 4 hours on your 70 and then take a 34. Because now you just wasted the first 10 hours just to drive 4 hours. That doesn't make sense. You're already down for 10 hours. You might as well just stay down for another 24 hours and get back a full clock, a full 70, rather than waste that 10 hours. You're putting yourself another day, basically. Putting yourself off another day. So really understand how to work that clock. Those are the ways you make money out here. You can go lease, but if you you don't know how to work that clock and you're late, you're constantly making excuses, you're constantly arguing with people, you're not going to make money. If you're a company driver and you're constantly shutting down for wind and snow and ice and you're just making excuses. I mean, I actually know people who made excuses because they didn't want to work. It's really easy to get lazy out here if you don't have any bills. And I'll admit that I did this because, you get to a point where your bills are paid, you're out of debt, there's money in the bank. And now it's like, all right, I can slow down. I don't need to do that like 3,000 miles a week anymore. 3,000 miles a week, I'm making $1,600, $1,800, $1,900, $2,100, whatever it is with the bonuses and stuff. And it's kind of like, well, I don't need to make that anymore. Now I'm slowing down and I might be happy with 1,200 miles at 2,000 miles or, something like that. And as you gain seniority, if you will, you gain experience and your pay is increasing over time. And you're learning more about the bonuses and how to get bigger bonuses and how to deal with big fuel bonuses. It all goes into making more money. Lease ops, they want high revenue, low miles. That's what they want. You need to really cut back on your fuel. Your largest variable cost as a lease op is going to be your fuel consumption. So the faster you run, the more fuel you're going to burn. All right, guess what? My battery's dying. So, like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell down below. Tell me what you think is the top number 1 or number 2 ways to make more money out here. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and I hope to see you out here. Truck along. Bye.